Hey everyone, it's Marla here, and I've decided that I want to start a new series. I usually put out a video every Tuesday, but because of my chair makeovers, my flipping frenzies, the new IOD release, there have been a few weeks that I've put out 2 videos, and it was very well received by my viewers, many of them saying, "I wish you would do 2 videos every week." So I have decided to start a new Friday series called One Thrift Wonder. The idea behind this series is to find a thrifted item to upcycle using just one featured product. For example, in this first episode, my featured product is the IOD transfer, the Belgravia Transfer, a transfer that came out during the summer, but for some reason I never got around to using. Another important feature of this series is that the transformation should not take a long time. I want it to be something that can be done in an hour or two, not a day or two. Now obviously I'll have to be using other products like paint and finishes, but as I said, there will be one featured product for each video. So let's get started with episode 1. I thrifted this bread box on a recent trip to Goodwill, and after I was looking at it, I thought I could use this for something besides a bread box. I especially loved the way the top opened and there was that little storage area in the top. And so I decided I was going to transform this into a coffee/tea cabinet to put at my coffee bar. I tried my darndest to get the knobs off, but they would not come off, so I decided I would just paint it with the knob on. I wanted to use an all-in-one paint so it would have a built-in sealer, and so I decided to use Cottage colors in Juniper and Blue Hills. I just mixed the two together and painted the box. Now to speed up the process, I did dry in between coats of paint, and I ended up giving this box about 2.5 coats. Before I painted the box, I had given the wooden lid a coat of Extra Bond because I wanted to use milk paint on it and I wanted that crackle. I painted the lid with the Extra Bond first so it would have time to dry while I painted the box. I wanted a light color and I chose to go with Sweet Pickins milk paint in the color Creamy. When you're using milk paint, one of the most important things is that you mix it thoroughly to get out as many lumps as you can. Once you're done mixing it, you need to let it set for about 10 minutes to thicken up. So I took advantage of that time to go ahead and apply a second coat of paint to my bread box. I had decided I wasn't going to paint most of the inside of the box because it was still in really good shape, but I did go around the edges and paint those just to make everything tie in together. I kept a wet wipe handy to clean up any paint that might have gotten on the inside edges of the box. By the time I finished the second coat, it was time to apply the milk paint. And I just used an artist brush to do this. I think I mentioned in another video that I used to always use a chip brush to apply milk paint, but I had a problem with the bristles always coming out, no matter what brand I bought. And so I have found that I can clean these brushes up as long as I get them into water right away. And if not, they're not real expensive brushes anyway. I usually buy them in bulk from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to buy these brushes, if you're interested. I do have an affiliate program with Amazon. It doesn't cost you any more, but they do give me a very small commission. I also wanted to mention that I now have an affiliate program with the Stencilsmith, and I have a code that you can use to get 15% off any stencil. I'll leave that in the description as well. A lot of people were really interested in my Kringle's Mercantile stencil from the Christmas video. After I applied the first coat of milk paint, then I got out my heat gun to dry it. This always encourages the cracking, plus it speeds up the process. After the first coat was thoroughly dry, then I went in and applied a second coat. I could already see that I was starting to get that crackle that I love. However, I had to apply a second coat of milk paint to get full coverage, and that's what I wanted. Applying a second coat over the first coat does not cause the crackle to go away, and in fact, in this case, it gave me even better crackle, as you will be able to see in the final images of this project. Once I had the second coat applied, I went over it with the heat gun just like I had the first. It's always so fun to watch that crackle form. And because I want these transformations to be something that can be done in a relatively short amount of time, I'm going to use any process at my disposal to speed things up. I used that same creamy milk paint to paint the knobs. I wanted them to stand out. I had picked out 2 vintage knobs to put on this, but as I said in the beginning, I could not get these knobs to come off no matter what I did. And in the end, I really like the milk paint. It really ties the top into the rest of the box. After I'd finished with the milk paint and it was thoroughly dry, I took out a sanding block and sanded it down. I wanted to make sure that if there was any chipping paint, I got that off, as well as smoothing out any lumps. Plus, I just love the smooth, silky, buttery finish you get with milk paint. As I mentioned in the beginning, I used the Belgravia Transfer for this project. I loved all the little teacups and saucers. It took me a little while to pick out the ones I wanted to put on it, but once I had them picked out, it didn't take much time at all to get them applied. I chose several transfers that I liked and just kind of moved them around on the front of the box until I came up with a design that was pleasing to me, and then I started to transfer them down. If you've never used a transfer, they're very easy, especially if you have a sealant on your paint. And as I said, I had used Cottage Colors, which has a built-in sealer. Some of you might be wondering why I didn't use Fusion, because I use Fusion all-in-one paint all the time. But a friend of mine, Connie from the Painted Photographer, said, "You need to get out your Cottage Colors and try them again." And so I did, and I was very happy with the results. When I'm putting down larger transfers, I like to fold that back white sheeting down a little bit and apply just a part of the transfer. It kind of gives you an anchor to keep your transfer in place, and then you can pull out the rest of that white and your transfer will go down right where you wanted it to go. The transfer I had chosen went over the lid that opens up on the front, and so I did get out an X-Acto knife and cut along the transfer at that point, basically just turning the transfer into 2 transfers. As you'll see, I used a lot of transfers on this box. I absolutely love this transfer book. I can't believe it took me so long to get it out and use it. And so I'll just let you watch as I fill out my design. After I finished applying the transfers to the front of the box, then I turned my attention to the lid. I have applied transfers directly onto milk paint before, and sometimes it works and sometimes it just pulls up the milk paint. So I decided I needed to lay down a coat of DIY liquid patina before attempting to put on any transfers. I used my heat gun again to help the liquid patina dry a little bit faster so I could continue on with this project. I had already decided what transfers I wanted for the top, and I had them all laid out and ready to go. I love this beautiful swag. I'm glad that I have more than one copy of this transfer book because I can think of other things I would like to use this on. You'll see here using my transfer stick that because I put that liquid patina on the top before applying the transfer goes down beautifully. I had no issues at all, didn't lift up any of the milk paint. Just as I was lifting off the bottom of the transfer, it slid just a little bit and the tip of the swag was out of position. But I knew I could fix that very quickly. I've had to do this more than once and it's never the transfer's fault, it's usually mine. But I just grabbed a couple of the florals from this transfer. And by the way, it has a lot more than just teacups and saucers. There are beautiful florals throughout this transfer book, as well as spoons and some cards with stamps. It's just a lovely book. But I got out two matching florals and put one on either side of the swag. In addition to the swag, I had chosen a teacup, a spoon, and a saucer to put on the top, and then I finished it off with some floral swags up in the corners, and then I gave it a coat of antiquing glaze for that old vintage look. After applying the antiquing glaze, I used a wet wipe to wipe back most of it, leaving it concentrated along the edges and in the corners. I also went around the knobs on the front to make it look like they had been opened many, many times. I love the way that the antiquing glaze just gives everything that old vintage look. But it usually takes me one or two coats, maybe even three, to get the exact look I'm going for. I like to put it on sparingly and then wipe it back and then just continue to add more layers as I need them. I think the layering also adds to that authentic vintage look. So what do you think, guys? I absolutely love the way it turned out. Look at that beautiful crackle on the lid. I truly believe this is a one thrift wonder. I managed to get this done in under 2 hours and sitting on my kitchen counter. It holds some of my English biscuits and my English teas, as well as some biscotti and some coffee pods. It's serving exactly the purpose I wanted it for. You'll have to let me know what you think of this one thrift wonder in the comments. And if you like the idea of a Friday video where I transform just one thrifted item using one featured product, I am so happy, so thrilled with the way this turned out. Now, I do notice that some of the milk paint curled up a little bit on the edge. I might have to sand that down, but for right now, I'm going to leave it as is. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch episode 1 of my One Thrift Wonder video series. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm very excited. I'm going to be leaving in just a few minutes to pick up my granddaughter from daycare and spend some time with her. And then tomorrow I will get started on more projects for Tuesday's video. Until then, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday.